got a minute left.
That's okay.
No,
Are you ready to go?
Yes, we are.
All right. Welcome to the Planning Advisory Committee meeting, January 7th, 2021 at 10:30 a.m. I wish all of you a happy new year, and let's start our meeting. Okay, Doug?
Yeah, we need a motion from some of you guys to open the meeting.
So adoption of the minutes of the regular meeting held, we'll start the meeting. I need a mover to start the meeting. Moved by Eric, or member Fwizzy, and seconded by member by Dennis, that the Planning Advisory Committee meeting be opened at 10:30 a.m. All in favor? And carried. I need a mover for that the minutes of the Planning Advisory Committee meeting held September 23rd, 2020 be adopted as circulated. Moved by member De Gagne and seconded by
I wasn't there. Can I second it anyways?
Eric. Okay.
I guess. I wasn't at that meeting.
By Dennis. Okay. That the minutes of the Planning Advisory Committee meeting held September 23rd, 2020 be adopted as circulated. All in favor? Everybody raised their hand, so it's carried. Anyone have a disclosure of pecuniary interest to declare? None heard. Presentations from the public. Are there anybody on the lines from the public?
No, the line's clear. Nobody's called in.
Okay. So we'll start the consents. Application B7 2020 Rendezvous for the 3 new lot of part lot 30, concession 1, parcel 740 NIP, zone rural. Comments from the North Bay Mattawa Conservation Authority attached. This application will have to be deferred until spring. So this is an application from Ron DeVoe, Cleo De Gagne, and Tracy De Gagne, and it's for consent has been submitted under section 53(1) of the Planning Act for 3 new lots on part of lot 30, concession 1, parcel 740 NIP. The proposed severed and retained lands will be an area and size as shown on the key map and attached thereto. And it's gone through all its processes, and we received a letter from North Bay Conservation Authority. And you can see by the map that there's 3 severed portions off of the that last lot of the township, and they're all 2.5 acres, which are the lot required for that they're allowed. So I think it's a little bit bigger. Am I correct? Or is it just one? It's right. I know it's a little bit bigger than a hectare, right, Doug?
Yes, it is. Just a touch bigger.
Okay.
And it's got the right frontage. It needs 60 meters, and it's got that because 60 meters is 196 or 198 feet.
All right. And because they're on a diagonal, but they all have the same frontage and same width.
You don't need a plan of subdivision for that?
we're good up to three severances. After that, then you need to look at a plan of subdivision.
Okay.
It says that this has not been previously severed from the original parcel. Is this original parcel? It looks like on my big map that it was part of a bigger parcel. When would that have been? The original parcel is, yeah.
Probably back the turn of the century when the road was put through.
Pardon me?
The road went through there, so it's a natural severance. It's always been there.
Okay, so it's a
The
natural severance.
road cuts that off, eh? And then the balance of the land behind it is Crown land. The rest of that 100 acres. If you
Okay,
see at the top of your map, it says Crown land.
right.
Yeah, that's because it's all Crown land from there back up to the church property. And then the other side of the road is Crown land as well. That was the only patent lands.
Okay, so this is 100 acres, this property, or?
Oh, it's only, well, the remainder would be 11.9.
Right.
So the whole thing was under 20 acres.
Okay, so the natural severance was done with the with that road when they put the road in. So it's never been severed through a committee. Okay. So we will be deferring as per conservation's. Does anyone have any questions regarding this application before we defer it to the spring?
Well, I have a question, a general question. It's a declaration of applicant. That's done at East Ferris. I wonder why.
Get a commissioner anywhere, Eric. It doesn't matter where you get them. You can go
Oh,
to
okay.
a lawyer's office. The reason it's done at East Ferris is because we don't have a commissioner in there right now.
It's like a witness.
Yeah, I was wondering why it was at East Ferris and not in Bonnfield. I
Yeah.
just wondered.
Because
Seems like
Diane's not
everything
here.
East Ferris.
Diane's not here to commission, and Peter's not here to commission, and they're the only two.
All right. So under the advice of Conservation Authority, y'all received your notice, your email. I'll read the recommendation that the Planning Advisory Committee recommends to Council to defer consent application B7 over 2020 Rendezvous pending a site inspection and comments by the North Bay Mattawa Conservation Authority in the spring. Be it hereby resolved that Council approves this recommendation. Moved by
Remove that
Dennis,
last
second.
line off of there. Be it resolved.
Pardon me?
That should not be there.
It should not be there. Okay. So I'll remove that last line.
And whenever you
Okay. So I have a mover of member Dennis Degani and seconded by member Eric Fwizzy. All in favor? Are you in favor? All in favor, carried. Next application is B8 over 2020, Christine Woods for one new lot on part of Lot 5, Concession 6, remainder parcel 5205 NIP being Part 1 on Plan 36R-11219, Zone Rural. Comments from North Bay Mattawa Conservation attached. So this application is from Christine Woods, and an application for consent has been submitted under Section 53(1) of the Planning Act for one new lot on part of Lot 5, Concession 6, remainder parcel 5205, NIP being Part 1 on Plan 36R-11219. The proposed severed and retained lands will be an area and size as shown on the key map attached here too. and it's gone through all its consents and all the. So here we see the map, and so this property is off of Development Road and
South Shore.
South Shore Road. So it's on the corner of South Shore and Development, and it goes back right down to that corner. Yeah.
Be interesting to see where the entrance would be on there. Pretty blind corner.
Well, there's 360 meters of frontage there on that corner.
Yeah.
So it's over 1,000 feet.
Did this go to Public Works?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, and were there any comments from Public Works?
No, she sent me an email and said, forget it, it's the wrong email. And that email was blank anyway. So, and that was it. She
Okay.
never went any further than that. So,
All right. So we have comments from North Bay Mattawa Conservation Authority, and the application looks normal. It's never been severed. The frontage will be 360 meters by a depth of 190 meters irregular. It's approximate of 10 acres. It'll be vacant land. Proposed use, rural residential with hobby farm as per current zoning bylaws. So the buildings and everything will be done by requirement. To be retained will be approximately 31 acres of vacant land. And if there's any buildings, it'll be done as per zoning bylaw. And Conservation Authority has submitted their letter, and other than the required septic system applications and everything, they had no objection. Am I correct, Doug?
yes, that's correct.
And no one else submitted any written objections or comments? All right. Is there any questions from my committee? No? Okay, so I'll read the motion and then I'll ask for someone to second and move it after. That the Planning Advisory Committee recommends to Council that the consent application B8/2020 Christine Woods be approved with the following conditions. 1, that this approval applies to the transfer as applied, for which shows 1 new lots on part of Lot 5, Concession 6, remainder of parcel 5205 NIP, Part 1, Plan 36R-11219. 2, that the following documents be provided. A, an original executed transfer deed, a duplicate original, and 1 photocopy for our records. B, a copy of the survey plan deposited in the land title office if required. C, an electronic copy of the survey emailed to cboplanner@bonfieldtownship.org. D, a schedule describing the severed parcel attached to the transfer for approval purposes. Number 3, if there is a forced road situation, a 20-meter road allowance or whatever amount is required for road purposes shall be transferred to the municipality at the owner's expense across the whole lot or parcel for which severance was taken, and compensation shall be awarded as per compensation grid for the transfer of forced roads. 4, that the building setbacks for all the buildings must meet the requirements of the zoning bylaw as per retained and or severed lots, whichever are affected at the time of survey. 5, a fee of 5% in lieu of parkland dedicated for each transfer document shall be deposited in the office of the clerk prior to stamping of any transfer document regarding the subdivision or consent for each new lot. For the purpose of determining the amount of payment, the pay grid to determine payment of up to 5% in lieu of land to be conveyed for parks and other recreation purposes shall apply. 6, if any, all tax arrears must be paid prior to the stamping of the transfer document for a new lot. And we have notes with X's, so I'll read them all. A certificate of approval is required under the Ontario Regulation 332-12 of the Ontario Building Code Act for the sewage disposal system must be obtained prior to development of the property. Another X, an entrance permit may be required from the Township of the Bondfield Public Works Department prior to development of the property. Another note, a development interference with wetland alteration to shoreline and watercourses permit may be required from the North Bay Mattawa Conservation Authority prior to undertaking any development of the property. Another note, the last note, it is recommended that prior to development, the property owner consult with the Ministry of Environment, Conservation and Parks regarding potential requirements under the Endangered Species Act. Any questions? May I have a mover and a seconder? Moved by Councillor or Member Fwizzy, seconded by Member Tigani. Yes. Shine.
Been a while, we haven't seen each other, that's why.
And all in favor?
Too.
Carried. So
I
sorry.
couldn't remember his last name either, so don't feel bad.
So sorry. Okay, so road closure applications, we have non-applications to license a shore road allowance for encroachment agreement. We have none. Zone change applications. This is information only, so I'll let Doug describe the two applications that we have coming.
First one is Roger Kehoe and Eric Buck. And what they want to do is build a second dwelling on their farm. They own the trout ponds on Trout Pond Road. Okay, just to give you an idea. And they want to build their home there as well because they want to house their employees in the old house for their farm, which is Gourmet Mushroom Farm and apiary or beehives. So that's the purpose of theirs. The other one's Zone Change 3/2020, Chris Fuller. That's a result of, you remember last year or the year before when we divided Diane Lozon's property down at the corner of Highway 531 and Highway 17. So, and it was all zone commercial. So when we divided the house off, it now has to be rezoned to what it is, which is a multiple family dwelling. And it's a function we're doing as a result of the severance. That and also the acreage is just a touch smaller than the required for the RM zone. It's 2.14 acres and the required is 2.47. That's why the special zone, in order to reflect that acreage size and the residential multiple family. And that'll clean that zoning up to where it should be.
Now, did conservation, they've already done their, when we first, this application already came to us, the second one, the conservation did their notes already. Am I correct?
Yeah, they did, and that is correct, and that's one thing. And then the other thing is, it's an existing use. It's not like we're rezoning it to build a multiple family. We're rezoning it to put it into where it belongs, in the right zone category.
So that's already been dealt with along with Ministry of Transportation and all and all their comments.
We've actually, they put the frontage on Highway 531 so that it's not off Highway 17 anymore. Also, as a result of that, the house had to be numbered to match the frontage, which is now number 3 Highway 531, as
Okay.
opposed to being off of Highway 17. And that's put into the numbering system grid in Bell Canada and 911. So that's already done.
All right. Anyone have any other questions?
Yeah, for the mushroom farm, if and when they decide to sever, like between the two houses, the old house, the new house, is enough room to do so if they decide to do so?
Quite a bit of room. I think I gave you this. I don't have the files with me because it's not our. It's
Oh
not
yeah,
our
30
bailiwick.
meters, sorry, yeah. So there's lots of room there.
Yeah.
Is that enough room? There's 30 meters between the edge of the existing farmhouse and will be with the new house. So that would be enough if they wanted to split the two.
Yeah, side yard setback is only 6 meters.
Okay. That was my only question.
But if you think of more, Eric and Jane, if you think of more, your meeting is at 6:30 Tuesday night, your public meeting for the zone changes. So review them in case you have more questions at the meeting. Because usually they're going to have to lead on that because council, even though it's a council committee public meeting, if you have anything, please bring it to their attention. Because they're not necessarily going to be up on it.
All right, fair enough. Any other questions? Are there any referrals from council, Doug? No? All right. Any other correspondence? Anybody else have any questions regarding this agenda? I have something. I'd like to know if there are any online seminars that this committee could go to, because we haven't had any updated training, and I'm sure there's things that have changed, legislation and things to the PPS that we should be aware of. Is there anything out there, Doug, for us?
Not yet. I'm waiting on municipal affairs to set up a meeting because it's those municipal affairs in Sudbury that does our training, and we haven't
Okay.
heard anything. Because usually it's in September, is it not? Isn't that usually when we have the training session?
Yeah, well, usually it's in September, but I haven't heard anything. And sometimes Ed, they would give little seminars. I remember one time we went to down in Gravenhurst, down to that ski resort, and we had a seminar. Is there anything from them that they want to update this committee on?
I'm not sure, but I can look into that, Jane. Get back to you.
You're on mute. I can't hear you.
I said I can look into that and get back to you.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. Anyone else have any questions or? No? All right. So I'll have a mover to adjourn, moved by Councillor Fwizzy and seconded by Member Shine.
Oh, Dennis made it to the meeting.
I'm so sorry. That the meeting of the Planning Advisory Committee be adjourned at 10:53. All in favor? And carried. And I thank you for attending the meeting.
Yep.
All right. We'll all sign off. Thank you.
Bye.
Happy New Year.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.